My name is Thomas Locker, and I'm a painter, and I have illustrated and sometimes written 36 or so books. And this painting here was from the second book, about 34 books ago. The book was called The Mare on the Hill. Books come sometimes from nature, sometimes from imagination, and sometimes from a combination of the two. That little house there was the house I used to live in Washington, Connecticut. And these two little figures are my sons, Aaron and Joshua. Joshua tells the story about the mare on the hill, and I'd like to read it to you. It was spring when we first saw the white mare. Grandpa had gone to a horse sale to buy a mate for our stallion. Late in the day, he returned, leading a beautiful white mare. My brother Aaron and I ran to meet him. Actually, the white mare used to belong to the family that lived next to us in Connecticut. But I took the story they told about the taming of a mare through kindness and sort of transposed it into a story about my own sons. Grandpa told us that the mare had been mistreated by her first owner. She was afraid of people and would have to be tied up. Aaron didn't want that. We pleaded with Grandpa to set the mare free. You'll never be able to catch her, he warned. But he took the mare's halter off and let us open up the pasture gate. With a frightening whinny, she bolted into the pasture and galloped away. Our stallion ran after her, but the mare didn't stop until she got to the top of the hill. On the hill, far away from people, the mare seemed to feel safe. There was plenty of grass to eat, a pool of spring water, and a grove of sheltering trees. Aaron and I watched the mare and the stallion all summer long as the grass grew tall and the hot weather came. Nearly every day we walked up the hill and tried to catch the mare, but Grandpa had been right. Each time she saw us, she ran away. We never even came close. Summer ended, and in September, Aaron and I went back to school. I guess our dog was lonely because she went up the hill and made friends with the mare. That is actually our dog Duchess, a collie. Autumn came, the leaves on the trees changed color, and the apples ripened in the orchard. Each day after school, Aaron and I carried apples to the mare. We left them near the spring, hoping she would come to us, but she never did. One day Aaron said he thought the mare was pregnant. She is not, I told him. But when we asked Grandpa, he said it was true. The mare would have a foal in the spring. One morning I looked out the window and saw it was snowing. I was worried about the mare. I knew she could dig through the snow to get to the grass, but there wasn't much grass left. Grandpa told us she would come down the hill when she was hungry enough. Aaron and I waited for a few days, and then we began to carry hay and oats up to her. The winter was the coldest in years, even Grandpa said so. By December it was dark when we came home from school. Day after day, Aaron and I struggled through the snowdrifts to take food to the mare. At last, she started to wait for us. We left it lower and lower on the hill each time, hoping to lure her down to the barn. But before this could happen, the weather changed. The snow melted and the barnyard became muddy. It was spring. In the cool April days, Aaron and I helped with the planting. The mare returned to the hill, and the grass began to grow in the pasture. She no longer needed our help. One day, while we were in school, a storm came roaring down from the mountains. The sky turned black and the trees were swaying in a fierce wind. All I could think about was the mare and how frightened she would be alone on her hilltop. As soon as school was over, I got Aaron and we ran home. An old tree had fallen across the fence. The pasture was open. Aaron and I searched everywhere, calling to each other above the howling of the wind. Then I thought I heard our dog barking. We raced down to the barn, and there, standing placidly beside our stallion, was the white mare. It was early May. From then on, the mare stayed close to the barnyard. Aaron and I spent hours on the fence, watching her with the stallion, wondering when she would have her foal. One day we brought carrots to the horses. I gave some to the stallion. The mare watched for a time, and then she came right up to Aaron and ate a carrot from his hand. One morning, soon afterwards, Grandpa came up to our room and woke us up. "Hurry to the pasture behind the barn," he whispered. Aaron and I knew right away what had happened. We raced to the pasture, and there we saw the mare cleaning her newborn foal. As we drew closer, the mare looked up at us. In the soft dawn light, she seemed proud and welcoming, and she was calmer than she had ever been before. And there's the mare on the hill with her foal in the fading light at the end of day. And that is the story of the mare on the hill that began with this painting and ended with them on the hill in the sunset. Thank you.